Today, we're unpacking a truly fascinating and, honestly, just a completely hilarious piece of raw data. We're going to dive right into a highly unusual, totally unedited automated transcript pulled straight from a high-production showcase of a concept car. We're going to see exactly what happens when the sleek, hyper-modern world of automotive design smashes headfirst into a spectacularly confused listening algorithm. Seriously, look at this. This is not a typo. It's not a placeholder. This is the exact unedited transcript derived directly from our source material. I mean, when you tune into a showcase about a futuristic concept car, you're obviously expecting detailed specifications, right? But instead, the algorithm just gave us this massive, relentless wall of heat. Literally just an absolute barrage of a single word. Section 1, the BMW Vision 100. Expectation versus reality. To really get what's going on here, we have to look at the context. On one hand, we've got the title of the source. BMW Vision Next 100, Interior, Exterior, and Drive. You hear that, and it promises this comprehensive, highly sophisticated tour of an advanced German automobile. It sets this huge expectation of sleekness and precision. And then, on the other side, we have the reality of the transcript. It's just this caveman-like repetitive chant of heat, heat, heat. The gap between that descriptive, high-tech title and the totally broken reality of the text is just staggering. It's basically a complete collapse of digital communication. Section 2. Analyzing the heat data. A statistical breakdown. Okay, rather than just laughing at it, though it is pretty funny, we're going to treat this text purely as raw data. And the absolute most crucial point here is this number, 31. Out of a remarkably brief 34-word text block provided by the source, variations of the word heat, whether it's capitalized or lowercase, appear exactly 31 times. I mean, that is just a stunning display of algorithmic hyperfixation. When we actually map out this dominance, the contrast is mind-blowing. The frequency for heat skyrockets all the way up to 31, totally dwarfing everything else. Way down at the bottom, barely even registering, we've got microscopic single appearances of the anomalous conversational words hey and oh. The algorithm didn't just favor the concept of heat, it was utterly consumed by it, essentially pushing every other potential word right out of existence. So for the purpose of our analysis, we need to define what heat actually means in this specific context. Basically, it's the overwhelming foundational element and the primary linguistic output of the machine trying its best to understand the BMW Vision Next 100. It is our statistical baseline. In the robotic mind of this algorithm, the entire essence of this highly advanced vehicle is literally just heat. Section 3. Hey, O, and N. Narrative plot twists. But as we've seen, that baseline is not completely unbroken. Let's look at the very first anomaly. After 7 relentless repetitions of heat, seemingly out of nowhere, we get hey. It's this sudden, jarringly human break in the machine's rhythm. It's almost like the algorithm suddenly woke up, tried to casually greet the viewer, and then instantly panicked and went right back to repeating heat. Then, much further down the dataset, we hit our second major anomaly. Oh. Now, if hey was a greeting, oh feels way more like a late-stage realization. It's this tiny little emotional beat interrupting an endless sea of heat. It's almost as if the digital translation tool suddenly realized it was actually looking at a car, had a brief moment of clarity, like, oh, but then just completely lacked the vocabulary to express it. And finally, we have the solitary consonant N. It pops up right before the very end of the text. So, what does this bizarre little glitch even represent? Is it a stutter? Maybe it's trying to abbreviate next, pulling from the video's title? Or is it just a pure, neutral mechanical failure as the algorithm finally exhausts itself? Whatever it is, it's a fascinating, solitary data point that completely defies the established pattern. If we break this down chronologically, we can actually map out a real timeline of this digital breakdown. We start at the beginning with our baseline, heat. Then right at the 8th word, we get our middle break, the conversational hey. By word 9, boom, we immediately return to the baseline. We coast on that until word 26, which is our late-stage realization, oh. And finally, we hit the conclusion, a stuttering N, followed by one final gasp of heat, heat. Seeing it structured like this actually transforms a wall of gibberish text into a defined narrative with a clear beginning, middle, and end, however absurd that narrative might be. Section 4. The meaning of heat, digital glitch or ultimate truth. So what's the takeaway here? Are we just looking at a simple digital glitch, or did this machine accidentally stumble onto some sort of ultimate truth? Well, let's review the raw data. We have 31 rhythmic repetitions of a single concept, pierced by 3 sudden conversational anomalies. On a broader level, this perfectly encapsulates the hilariously vast gap that still exists between the sleek, highly engineered promise of modern automotive design and the messy, chaotic reality of our current digital translation tools. We're out here building the cars of the future, but our algorithms are still occasionally just speaking in absolute gibberish. But before we wrap things up, I want to re-examine this concluding sequence one more time. Just listen to this. Oh, heat, 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 heat. If you read it out loud to yourself, you really notice the rhythm. It starts with a realization, the O, right? And then it launches into this rapid-fire escalating repetition of heat that gets suddenly choked off by the N before sputtering out 2 final times. Honestly, it almost perfectly mimics the rhythmic revving, the physical combustion, and the final mechanical sputter of an actual car engine. Which really leaves us to ponder. As we look at the BMW Vision Next 100, a car specifically designed to represent the distant future of driving, did the algorithm simply fail? Or, in its own confused, repetitive way, did it completely bypass the interior and exterior features to perfectly summarize the visceral internal combustion legacy of the automobile itself? Is it just a glitch, or is it the ultimate heat?